The evidence shows that globally, most violence against women and their children is driven by gender inequality. Violence against women specialists and survivors can add an important dimension to your reporting on violence against women. They can talk about the nature of violence, why it happens, power and control, impact on victims, accountability for perpetrators, and systemic issues.
Talking to survivor advocates, for example, or counsellor advocates can be really important. It takes some of the spotlight and the responsibility off individual survivors. And it can also help in providing that broader contextual framing that's so important. So, can help reduce the likelihood that you're just framing this as a very individualized problem, because people in those peak bodies can speak to it as a more systemic issue.
Expert commentary can highlight systemic and industry-wide issues or trends by giving context, statistics, or evidence.
Whenever I'm talking to anyone that is starting to report, my advice is always that you need to be essentially an expert in whatever area you're reporting on, or you need to be able to ask someone, the right person, the right questions.
I've had a few journalists who have reached out to gain a broader understanding of the issue at hand before they're writing the story, which, I understand it's a fast-paced environment that may not always be possible, especially on issues that keep coming up in the media. Doing your research beforehand so that you know how you're going to deal with it and have a nuanced understanding is wonderful.
Where there's an opportunity there for some deeper learning is newsrooms and journalists starting to connect with the work that disability peak organisations are doing in Australia, particularly having a look at the submissions that they write in their calls for advocacy and what needs to be addressed at that higher systemic level. I think that's the key way to getting an understanding, is actually listen to the voices of people with disability and see what they're calling for to change.
Establish relationships with expert sources.
Journalists, keep on top of this. Talk to people who are trans and gender diverse, talk to people who are researchers across this, but also who are policy and advocacy groups across this. Make us do research, make us do work for you. We can be compelled by requests from the media. So do that, have relationships with us, not extractive conversations.
For more information on reporting on violence against women, visit ourwatch.org.au.